Painting hidden spaces seems to be our specialty lately, and after having primed our bilge with the barrier coat the other week, Matt has now gotten 2 coats of our bilge paint in there and it's looking great. Another easy project for him has been to begin priming and painting all of the lockers under our settee. Because they will most likely be housing things like our batteries and inverter, we skipped any fairing in these sections.
One of the last days we're still going to have the fan on in here because it is still warm, but next week we're going to end up getting into the colder months. In preparation for that, and so I can actually do something productive over that time, it's going to be going through and finishing up these foredeck hatch areas. So, oof, dusty. But if you remember, big storage area with water tanks. So there's a water tank on each side. From this side and this side, the center is open. That's where the windlass is, the chain, all that kind of stuff. That's the wet area. Where the water tanks are is going to be a little bit more dry storage type of thing. But with having those 2 water tanks in there, and each one of them's about 75 gallons, 80 gallons a piece, I want them to be able to equalize. So when I fill them, especially when we're filling with a water make or whatever, and we bring one down, I want to be able to go through and adjust it so that I have that same amount of water on both sides. To do that, using stainless steel ball valves and actually a through hull that I'm drilling through, and that is going to be mounted in this dusty area. This area back down here. The real thing is, of course, we want to make sure this is in an area that's not going to be getting hit by anything. So after I get these mounted in a good location, something of course down low because it has to be able to equalize, it's the whole point in life, equalize that water. But I also will end up building a protection around it. So it's still accessible, but when that chain slides down or anything heavy slides against it, it's not going to hit against these valves. Because of course, if the valve breaks, then it's going to leak all of our water out of our tank, which is not a good situation at all when you're cruising out in the middle of nowhere. So that's the project for today. Drill those things out, decore them, backfill them in, get the valves situated exactly where we want them, and then I can go through and build that protection around it as well. Right there. Have been decored, so I don't have to worry about any water leaking in there at all. Same thing over on that side. We have our thickened resin. Get that edge a nice little mix in there. And can't really see it because it's getting dark. See this side a little bit better.
Sometimes in life, you find yourself in a situation where learning another language could be very helpful.
Oui.
Je le savais!
We've all probably tried learning a new language at one time or another, and a lot of those methods just didn't work.
Thank you. Merci. Merci.
That says American, like America.
Je m'appelle Claude.
Je t'appelle Bleu.
That's not really quite how I said it.
But now, with 30 minutes of daily use, you can get solid speaking skills in only 3 to 4 months with the use of Speakly.
Je ne parle pas anglais.
One of the things I love about these lessons is they're based on real life situations, so you're not learning anything that you can't use to speak the language. Plus, Speakly is the only language learning application that actually lets you choose how you want to study a new vocabulary. It offers a focus in writing, multiple choice, or a combination of both. Make sure to sign up now for their 7-day free trial, and if you continue learning through them, you're going to get 60% off of your yearly subscription. So make sure to click the link in our description box below, and remember, if you start learning now, you will be speaking a new language by the time spring rolls around.
All right, so the process for this is I need to fill it with caulk and then get it down in there and shove through that hole, and then Jessica can hopefully tighten that nut on there. Problem is I don't know if I can actually physically reach this with my hand. It's down just too far that I can't quite get it. So making do with what we have, using my air piece, and it does fit on there well. And once it's kind of jammed in there, hopefully I can line this up, jam it through, and get this to work. This is, again, not the professional way, but it is the Matt Johnson way.
Because it has to go through the water tank.
It's got to go through this water tank. So in here, down in the bottom there is where that hole is. And my arm is just not long enough. Giving this a generous helping. And what we're using is Sikaflex 291, which is a NSF rated caulk for potable water. So this is safe for drinking water. Jam that thing up in there. Should be good. Now I'll just see if I can actually get this in here in one go without it falling off.
It's coming through. Let me just, I need to adjust to a smaller size with a wrench. All right.
Now the other side.
Okay.
Not the way I'd want to do it. Normally in a through hull, there's little ears on it that you can put a through hull wrench on and prevent it from rotating when you tighten it, but that's assuming you can get to the other side of it. The fact that I can't, I'm gonna have to try to pinch the thread here without damaging it and tighten. Got the valves in place now. Only thing's really missing on this is, of course, the hose that's going to connect the two of them. This way, again, we can keep them closed 99% of the time. But when we do actually want to equalize the tanks, we can just open up these valves, let the water flow. It'll even itself out, and then we're good to go. Then we'll come back up and close these things. So again, they're going to be left closed majority of the time, but it's nice having this possibility, especially when we're talking about 75 gallons, a little bit more than that, about 80 gallons on each side. That's a lot of weight there. So having that so we can balance it out is going to be important eventually. Next step is making sure that we protect these, because again, that anchor chain is going to be riding in here, and of course the last thing I wanted to do is to hit against these valves and cause problems. So we're going to make a nice separating wall right here, glass that in, and then this area back here is just for those valves. Nothing else will be back there. Nothing else is going to ride in there. It's just purely for that. So I'm going to get that cut out, start glassing that thing in place, and then I can prep the surface and start painting it and getting it ready for the next step, which is going to be running through all the wires and the actual plumbing in this area.
This week begins the Annapolis Sailboat Show, which is a huge event that we look forward to all year long. But what is really exciting for Matt and I is that this is the first time they have a Max Cruise model here in the US, and it's going to be on display. Get out of my frame, Alex. And now the sign starts.
Yeah, kind of tight in here, isn't it?
But it's not.
Yeah.
This is the first time that Max Cruise has had one of their boats within the US, so it is going to be in display at the Annapolis Boat Show, so we're excited about that. So not only will we get to go aboard the boat again, kind of poke around, do some measurements, but that has brought Terry from Vietnam here. So we have him now going through our boat and giving us the full inspection to let us know how we're doing, if we get the seal of approval or if we have totally failed so far.
Where's your
The only thing that is
water maker?
Water maker's on that side.
Engine air gun, so you'll have 3 down there.
I'm gonna have 2. So I have engine and air gun.
No, seriously.
Trying to get, we started on
You've got
that.
so many angles in
It's
here.
so many different.
Although Matt and Terry are constantly messaging one another, it was exciting to have Terry see our boat in person and give him the full rundown of the systems we've chosen. Since the home builds only come with the materials for the hull and bulkheads, it's up to the owner to choose what they like to install, making it as easy or complicated as they wish.
A lot more space.
You got a lot of room here.
There's a ton.
This is storage, yeah?
That's
Yeah,
clothing
that's-
storage, that's Matt.
This is your electronics.
That's gonna be hanging.
And hanging.
So,
I know. So much clothes. Do you know how much clothes I have?
yeah. So the big thing is we gotta set up ventilation.
Venting with this is really important. Your transformer is at the back.
Transformers at the back. Yep. Most likely the inverter charger is gonna end up going up. We'll vent up there.
Where's your, are you using a bump squirt?
No, we don't have a...
We can, if we do. It's
I
just
tell you,
it'd be
there's
mounted right there.
the amount of people, the amount of foreigners that have come on board the boat, and after 3 days go, what a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably would be.
It really,
Yeah, it's easy enough.
Yeah.
It's just installed right there.
Yeah.
straight down.
Yeah, I mean, we've got water run right through here too. So water maker is in here. What's one? Rayman.
Well, we just had Terry go through the whole boat with us, and the good thing is every little minuscule thing that Matt was worrying about, Terry is like, oh no, you're doing such a good job. So where all of the initial seams from the molded pieces have come together, where we've bonded with the methacrylate and then the fiberglass, but we haven't gel coated them yet. He's like, everything looks great, it's coming together seamlessly. All of the bulkheads, we have gotten the stamp of approval, and I didn't really film as much of it as I thought I would have, because it was really a discussion of where we're going from this point, you know, how things are going to set up, like what we want to do for wiring and plumbing, and then bouncing ideas off of each other. So unfortunately, I didn't get much of that on camera, but everything is looking great. And as I go to take a little bathroom break, I see a familiar boat coming into the harbor. Steve is pulling in now, so we'll be able to hop aboard hull 4 of the next cruise and do some measurements, look around, and then just get to see Steve again. Can't believe the last time that we have seen this boat was probably like 16 months ago in Vietnam. It has traveled so far to get here, and I was actually just thinking that it's kind of strange that it is coming here, because this boat is going to be leaving the marina before ours does, so we're not going to be the first ones on this model sailing out. Hull 4 is, but we're glad that they can come here, see what we're up to, be part of the Kentmore family, and then everyone else around here too can actually see what we're working toward, what we hope to complete in like the next year to year and a half. She looks so big! Still can't believe that we're going to be living aboard one of these, sailing the world in not too long. How's it going? Awesome! Still can't believe you're here! It's Stevie steering with his feet. Seeing our finished boat again. Feels like we are, because we are so far away from the stage, but we're getting there, slowly. These nice new floors.
I think it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ah.
Love it, man.
So you guys gonna come visit us on our finished one?
I mean, I think I got knee and back problems by that point. I'll probably be in retirement, so I'll have more free time to join in.
Ha ha ha. So hopefully you don't mind that we're taking up the tent for so long to have this as our finished product.
This is a finished product. I think we'll be in good shape. This is awesome. Thank you. Oh, sweeping to do.
Yeah.
You got plenty of visibility. Wow.
One of the reasons Windsurfer was staying at Kentmore Marina for the night is Terry had shipped over a new Max Cruise fiberglass catamaran tender, and we needed to do a swap out between the two before the show.
Ooh, look how nice that looks.
We still have the old one for sale at our marina if anyone is interested. Each year for the Annapolis Sailboat Show, our goal is to get on as many boats as possible to gather ideas for our own build.
Still really roomy. I like how the oven's built in there, a little space.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were walking through all the rows, it of course brought a smile to our face to see Windsurfer sitting on the next dock. Unfortunately, this year we caught some pretty bad colds right at the start of the show, which brought our energy levels incredibly far down. So while we did still make it on just a few of our favorites, it looks like some of our future designs will have to be based on photos instead of first-hand examination. And on the last night of the show, since we were helping Windsurfer off the dock, we were able to get a front row seat to all of the action, which is the takedown of the show.
The days until I meet my future